you listen closely, the drums tell a story too. Drummer and teacher Willie Stewart has played with internationally known artists, including the Jamaican reggae band Third World. The drums tell a simple story, he says, one about heartbeats and the love of music.
After you leave a group like Third World, what does one do? I probably wouldn't go into Santana. He has a drummer already. Stevie has his drummers. And you're on such a high level. And I always love kids. It's like I always love and wanted to pass on, depart something. And I picked up the paper and it says like between 35 and 45, if you're a musician, come and, you can come to this seminar, this program. So I went and I applied, and within no time, there's 1,000 people that enter, 1,000 musicians, and they pick 300 or 250 to train. So they picked me, lucky enough, and I started to, and I worked with the best in England, the best facilitators, best in voice, things. But what they want to do is use you as a musician, but find out what is missing and teach your way. One of the workshops was, I would teach drums. The other one was Rhythms of Africa, which I showed journey of music, history of reggae music. And then when I came over here, I invented a stress relief percussion workshop for team building, which is taken off.
Where did that come from, that desire to kind of reach out of your comfort zone?
I always believe that everybody had a rhythm inside of them. And it's just a matter of, because your heart beats on that pulse, and it's just a matter of facilitating and getting the people to love it. And I'm passionate about drums. People said, why did you choose drums? I never chose drums, it chose me. I think it was always in me. But then when I really found out was when I went to England and I started to teach, and other teachers started to come in, and I started to work with kids. And then you're supposed to work with 3 kids. Within 1 week, I was working with the whole school. So there was this something that I discovered about myself, and I loved it. Being taught in England of how to do education, the formal way of the education, how to teach, I could use my way of departing. In other words, in England, they have fish and chips. In Jamaica, we have ackee and saltfish. So I was to be able to take that and convert it to my way, and my experience, my background of going on international throughout the world, playing, I could now bring it down to the everyday person to say, all right, this is what you do. The drums is a simple heartbeat. It's a pulse. Today, anyway you listen to the drums is the most thing everybody listens to, and in their heart, they can identify. When you play drums, what it does for me, I feel rejuvenated. I feel happy. If I play in a room by myself, I feel happy. If I play to 1 million people, I generate the same thing. If I play to my students when I'm teaching them, I give them the same thing. Because it's like you're giving. As a musician, you're an ambassador. As a musician, you must give. When you give, people return. They either clap, or they get up, or they respond. Now, each drum has its own frequency. The higher drums touch your head, it moves around. The middle drums make your waist, and the bottom drums, the bass, move your bottom end. So each one, and it can make you sad, it can make you happy. You respond, and the drums respond back to you. So there's a heartbeat in everyone with a pulse, and that pulse is what people have, yes. What I found recently, because I've done so many of them, when I do workshops, people sometimes intimidated by the big drums. Oh, I can't play this. I said, you don't have to. Just sit down and relax. And when they get to play it, they touch it, and they hear the sound, and then they respond. And by facilitating certain ways, like certain rhythms, and in Africa, they say if you can say it, you can play it. So if you go babao, babao, aladada, atatata. So by saying it, so I give them simple phrases, because half of them wouldn't read music. So you give them phrases, and by catchphrases, they play along. And playing along, they get motivated. And when a group plays music together of people, because I do 100 sometimes, 30, and they're playing a pulsive beat, it synergizes everybody. Energy comes in a unity and a oneness. This is how the people come as one, and then it relieves the stress. So music is a tool, it's a unity tool, it's a rhythmatic. I use rhythm to motivate people, rhythm to inspire people, rhythm to uplift people with fun in a fun, upbeat way.
And then if people get in the rhythm, they perhaps create a new kind of rhythm in the way they interact with each other. Right.
So when they get the rhythm, so you play a rhythm and you listen to someone, they start something, and it's like a conversation. Someone they start, and we pick up on that, and they build. And so in my workshops, people can do solos. I tell them, all right, we play 4 beats, you play something. They play something, and magical things happen to them. They start laughing, and then they start playing. They can't stop. All of them say, oh, can it be longer? We want it to be longer. There's a magic in drums. When drums play, and I think there's a child in everybody. Everybody has that heartbeat, everybody has that pulse. Everybody, some people never know about music, never know about drums. When they see the color of the drums around them, it's like a child in a candy store. Oh, I want this, they're hitting this. They get excited. It's a universal way of communicating with people. Drums is a universal way of talking with people, of uniting strangers. You don't have to be color, it's above all color, it's above everything else. It is oneness. Everybody can be oneness and playing music under unity. It's incredible.
Willie, you're